So you clicked on this video because you want to know the exact strategy I used to get to 10% body fat. And that is exactly what this is, a no bullshit guide. I'm going to break this down step by step. The problem is that most people get way too caught up on complicated diets that they just simply cannot sustain year round, or on top of that, they'll do endless cardio that just burns them out and spikes their hunger. By the end of this video, you will have actionable steps and a sustainable walking method to get to the desired body fat percentage that you want to achieve. Now, why me? Well, I've been bulky, I've been lean, and I've been able to maintain a relatively low body fat percentage without starving myself or doing endless amounts of cardio consistently. Now, before we dive into it, I want to open this up. Right now, I'm looking for 5 busy men who want to work with me one-on-one for free. If you're interested at all, you want to stop wasting years on trial and error, just drop a comment below and I'll personally reach out. Now let's get into the walking method. Well, number one, first thing that most people are going to think obviously is, why would walking get me the results that I want when it seems so simple? It seems so good to be true. However, in reality, it really isn't. And the thing is that it can be easy, but only if you do it in the right way. Because the thing with walking is that unlike endless cardio sessions, it does not spike hunger, meaning that it is such an easy habit to do, yet it gives you so much in return. And just so you can get an idea, getting 8 to 10,000 steps per day, which is what most people should be aiming for, can burn 300 to 500 calories depending on your weight. That is tremendously 300 to 500 per day. Multiply that by 7 days out of the week, that's already 1 pound of fat. 3,500 calories is equal to 1 pound of fat, in case you did not know. So that is crazy if you really think about it. Not only this, but of course other health factors. Walking lowers cortisol, which is a stress hormone. The less cortisol in your body, the easier it is for you to release fat. The more cortisol, the more that your body thinks that it should store and hang on to that fat. And that is the key. It is that walking is so easy, something that you can do every single day, and that is what makes it so powerful. Because the thing is, most people will overcomplicate this. They think that they have to do endless cardio, and although that can work for a small amount of time, the reality is that life has ups and downs, and that is not sustainable. However, walking is something that you can do at home, outside, inside, on a treadmill. You can do it in so many different ways, and that is what makes it so powerful. It takes such a little amount of energy and time, but it has such a big upside. And when I say that there's so many ways to do it, that really is true. There's so many ways that you can actually optimize the way that you walk to burn even more calories, which I want to get a little bit more into later in the video. However, how do you actually go about reaching 8 to 10,000 steps? Well, me personally, I do most of my work, or I spend most of my day sitting down at a desk, whether it is editing videos, doing that kind of thing. And a lot of jobs are like this as well. So how am I able to reach 8 to 10,000 steps? And you can see here, there's proof. I track my steps with this Oura Ring, but I've yet been able to do that consistently at least 6 days out of the week for at least a year now. And that is what has helped me to stay so lean without having to put in so much work. A very, very big tip that I want all of you guys to take is that, of course, while walking can seem so boring, an easy way to not make it boring, and which you should actually take seriously, because the more that you enjoy something, the less boring it is, the more easy that it is for you to actually stick to that. Pair up walking with something that you enjoy. For example, a lot of people, they'll listen to music whenever they're walking. They'll go on a walk in the morning. That's sometimes what I do. Or I'll go on a walk in the evening, listening to music, listening to a podcast, that kind of thing. Just pairing it up with another habit which you actually like. And this goes especially for my people that don't like walking, or do some other kind of low energy activity or some other kind of sport, like for example playing tennis, playing pickleball, playing things that you already enjoy doing, just to increase that step count. Once again, the more that you enjoy it, the easier it is going to be for you to hit that 8 to 10,000 step mark, preferably closer to 12,000. Now, if you want to make this even more effective, what I do, and this is at least 3 to 4 times out of the week, at the end of my regular weightlifting session, I'll get on a treadmill and I'll set the incline to about 15% and go around 2 to 3 miles per hour. This burns literally twice the amount of calories. So not only is it already a low energy activity, going at a 15% incline is basically the same thing. It's gonna get your heart rate up, have your heart rate in a fat burning zone, which is around zone 3, 150 beats per minute, without once again spiking your hunger, but you're burning twice as many calories as just walking on a flat surface. And just doing this 15-20 minutes, if you do it every single day, that is at least 200-300 calories per day. Now that you know exactly what to do, and you actually know how to actually take action, just go outside, take a walk. It's literally so easy. I want to put this a little bit more into perspective. A lot of people, of course, your counter argument will be, well, I can't just walk myself into a calorie deficit or blah blah blah, whatever this, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, a calorie deficit is what matters the most when it comes to losing weight and getting to a low body fat percentage. However, just think about it like this: because it is such a low energy activity, say your maintenance is 2000 calories and you struggle to get below that maintenance, you can quite literally continue eating at maintenance without changing anything about your diet. And as long as you shoot or get at least 10,000 steps every single day, which once again you can do by just taking walks in the morning, taking a walk in the evening, doing some kind of activity, getting to some kind of sport or something like that, which is just overall increases your movement without you taking up so much of your time, or just doing incline walk after your workout, you're going to be burning 200-300 calories every single day. Which, once again, to put it into perspective, let's say you're more on the upper end, which is about 500 calories per day, right, from getting 10,000 steps, times 7, that's 3,500 calories. That's 1 pound of fat that you're losing without dieting. Now, once again, I want to highlight, you don't want to rely on this. You're not going to walk yourself into a calorie deficit. That is true. You're not going to burn yourself into a calorie deficit, because once again, that is not the point of this video. The point of this video is to use walking as an extra push aiding your calorie deficit. So you want to pair it up with good nutrition, of course. However, the point is that because this is such a low value activity, which gives you so much 200-300 calories per day, that makes your calorie deficit so much easier. And I've experienced this. Although it might seem like, oh well, this is not going to solve my problem, as long as you pair this up with good dieting. And with good dieting, I don't even mean tracking your calories at all. I don't do that anymore. I don't track my calories. I don't even, weigh my food or accurately do this every single day. All I do now, and I'm still at a relatively low body fat percentage, is that I take care of what I eat. Of course, have good food choices. You're not gonna eat junk food. You can do that every so often, once a week, once, twice a week. Of course, have your cheat meals. However, I don't track my calories anymore. I don't weigh food. I don't do any of that. All I do is that I focus on getting 8,000 to 12,000 steps every single day. I eat real whole foods. If I go out, have some McDonald's or have, Whataburger, I get the healthiest option on the menu: grilled chicken sandwich, grilled chicken nuggets. There's always a good option, trust me. And pair that up with a high level of activity, as well as, of course, strength training 5 to 6 times per week. And I'm able to maintain 10 to 13% body fat year round with ease. I'm still getting stronger and I'm not having to stress over my calories. So yeah, walking on top of good, smart food choices, not obsessing over my calories, not tracking every single bite that I eat, but using smart food choices and walking, those two things by themselves, which didn't take up a lot of my time, they don't at this day, that is what keeps me at 10 to 12% body fat year round, still building muscle. And the best part about this is that you don't have to be athletic, you don't have to be young, anyone can do it. But the sad part is, most people will just continue following fad diets, things that are unsustainable, overcomplicating things, and just going back to that same routine, losing some weight, gaining it back, losing some weight, gaining it back, getting frustrated, and continuously staying in that loop. And the truth is, the real challenge is not even the information, knowing what to do, it is just simply taking action and actually doing it. But if you want to break that cycle, once again, I'm opening 5 free spots for people that want to join my one-on-one coaching program. I'm willing to coach you for the next 30 days. Just leave a comment down below or reach out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.